Going to take you through anterior core drill, TRX fallout. So yeah, this is a good one. I'm going to take you straight up to the progression really. There's a few regressions before this that I would start clients out with, especially novice trainees. Ball rollouts, ab wheel rollouts, bird dogs, things like that. But I'm going to take you straight up to one of the progressions on it. So basically, we're talking about all our anterior core stabilizers, which is basically, the distance, the musculature between here, namely rectus abdominis. We're also resisting rotation in that transverse plane as well, but it's mainly holding stability through that anterior core, resisting lumbar extension. So yeah, like the next progression from what I'm going to show you will be something straight up to like deadlifting. So it's got quite a huge range. I'm also going to at the end of it, I'm going to show you quickly on the floor how to find that ideal position before you initiate the movement, which is playing around with that posterior and anterior tilt and kind of trying to find that middle spine or that neutral normal spine before you initiate. This all kind of goes against the grain or flies in the face of kind of conventional wisdom where it's all crunches, right? Crunches, sit-ups, which in effect will only shorten the rectus abdominis, and it can end up over months and years, and many reps. It can pull us into this, this poor posture, which is something we don't want. Kind of like a little bit like when guys or girls do a ton of bench pressing and end up with that rounded shoulder position. So yeah, let me show you a few reps. Set up, get a few reps out, and then. So basic premise with the movement and with a lot of the TRX movements is the further out you fall, the harder the movement's going to be. So to regress it, you would walk in, essentially. Some exceptions to that rule, but more or less that. Okay, so I'm kind of in sort of a mid-range. I'm going to set my hips initially, if you can get the profile. Sometimes I coach clients to go into a heavy arch or an anterior tilt, and then to counter that with the posterior tuck, which is what we want. We want to kind of aggressively hold that. Once we've achieved that, butt's tight, glutes are tight. Initiate from the hip really, with the glutes on, and then just make the fallout movement. Ooh. So obviously you would regulate how far out you were to fall. The further you go, the harder it's going to be. And again, regulating where you're stood relative to the anchor is also going to make it either easier or harder. So yeah, that about wraps it up.